things by the day. But then I want to ask you, how did you become a TV maker? Because, well, that aren't the kind of things that just pass by every day. You have to...
It wasn't my dream, and it shouldn't be my dream at all. It never has been my dream to become a TV host or something.
How did you become?
I always wanted to become a teacher of sports, but after 3 years I thought, wow, this is not my sports. So I stopped, and I got the possibility of doing something on radio and then on television. But again, I didn't want to be on television or radio. I don't know why, I can't explain. It's the first time I really enjoyed doing television when I went to Mojave Desert to do a nice item in Jules Unlimited with a parapente, with a motor and a three-wheel thing, and I could fly by just moving 3 different things together. And suddenly I could fly, and I saw it on television. I thought, I've never seen this on television, so I should go on with this program and should make a next episode. There I started liking TV, but it's probably not that interesting. The most interesting thing is that I didn't say live by the day, not at all. What I wanted to say is you should be open for any new invitation. And if Patrick isn't definite about his choice for tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, that's a very positive thing. He shouldn't be open if he thinks like, oh no, I don't want to make a choice yet. If he wants to make a choice, that's okay. It's as good as his choice to not make a choice. So that's what I wanted to say. Open up, and if you open up, you get more knowledge about the things that you know or do not know yet. It's very superficial probably, but
maybe later I understand it. But what about
when we drink a beer together and then talk on and talk on and talk on,
okay, we'll do
have another beer and talk on.
But do you also think about that, Clive? Do you always want to be a teacher, or did it also just came by?
It happened to some extent, to a large extent, by accident. I started graduate work. I got interested, as I said earlier, in very theoretical mechanics, and the only way I could do that was to become a professor. And I looked at the professors that I knew, particularly in graduate school. They had a nice life. They weren't going to be rich, but they lived okay. And they mostly didn't have to deal with undergraduates, which I also liked. Right? So I wouldn't say that now, because that's my greatest joy. Over the years, I came to like teaching. In fact, it was interesting to go back to early in the discussion. We talked about marketing and things like that. I always view that as a form of teaching. And the form of being on television is conveying in class what I think is really interesting and important, is teaching. It's what I did with my kids, it's what I do with my students in class. That probably gives me, it's what I do when I write most of the things that I write. It's conveying ideas, it's conveying a context, it's conveying a meaning.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I do.
Is this a consolation for the two of you, that you can, after studying, still become anything and still
sure, but
do many things in life?
Yeah, but I didn't need that proof or something from this discussion. I already knew that for myself, I think. I just know that the thing about not knowing now what I want to do, it's more like I know what I could do. I just don't have to make the decision yet, so why should I? So if I graduate at a certain company and working there would seem really much fun, then maybe I would make that choice, even though now I couldn't even dream of that. So I guess you don't have to make a choice until you are in that position, and you
even better if something comes on my path, I can choose whether or not to go along with it or not. So I think that's what I.
Okay, Philip, last question, and then.
I have one little question. Don't you have like big heroes, big examples in industrial design? Like, man, the thing he achieved, that's something I really want for myself. Well, I don't know really big designers.
Anyone with a happy life, that's my idol, I think.
But no one particular within industrial design, like.
No, I don't have any personal idols or heroes. The only people I can think of are the brothers Das, Rudolf and Robert Das, who are they call themselves futurologists or something. They're quite old already, like in their 70s, but they made these books with all these futuristic drawings of like trains and futuristic buildings and cars. And I had one of their books when I was young, and when I saw the pictures, I really know, oh man, that looks so cool. Wouldn't it be cool if I could be involved in making the future happen? So in my mind, I'm always somewhere in the future thinking of what could be instead of what is right now. But personal heroes, I don't really have, I think.
And in general, are there any big designers that's like well known around the world and stuff?
You know, I'll give you what you may strike you as a very odd answer. I've written a dozen books, almost 100 journal articles. I would trade them all for a Beethoven symphony, even a Tchaikovsky symphony, or a Brahms. Just one.
Okay, well at the table we have then two people who have a job but think that it could change any moment. Well, their lives could change any moment.
It will change.
And two students that are very happy about being industrial design engineers but still don't know what they want. And I think we'll hear more from all of them. I think we should round off the discussion unless there are some final questions, people who really can't wait to ask a question.